We are remote from Washington, D.C. We have some business to take care of here in Washington, D.C. tomorrow. And in fact, I am going to make sure my complaint is heard about the NSA situation tomorrow in Washington with my congressmen and senators. Of course, if you want to know what we're talking about, go to CanadaFreePress.com. On the front page from Verizon's "Can You Hear Me Now?" to NSA's "Yes, Every Eavesdropped Word." That is the story by Jenny McLeod there about Big Brother watching. At any rate, I want to welcome you. Let me go back to something that I started at the beginning of the program, and that was the article at CanadaFreePress.com about Verizon. The disclosure, 2 days after what happened to me with the NSA, the disclosure by Verizon, court records. And I was looking through the comments here, and there was a comment by somebody by the name of PJ saying no content was revealed, okay, from this. That was one sentence in this comment by this PJ. No content was revealed, okay. Now think about that for a second. In other words, what this PJ is saying is, well, there was no content of the conversation that was revealed. In other words, to the spy agencies. No. What I wanted to kind of touch on is this. With respect to me, by the way, no, this is about me. And I know it sounds almost self-serving to talk about me, but I'm kind of using me as kind of like a basis for understanding of what's going on here. Ron writes, well, PJ, you're correct. The Verizon court order only required the electronic identifier information, which means that this court order only covered the numbers back and forth. But anyway, however, the call between myself, me, and another equally high-profile media personality was recorded, and the recording was placed in a file. And the access information was forwarded to at least one and perhaps more likely multiple parties. Now, I was on Coast to Coast last night talking about this. Given the magnitude of the stories that, now this is Ron writing this, that I've covered this year, meaning me, and the quality of the sources, who do you think in Big Brother's system has decided to put him on speed dial, meaning me, us? Will the Hagmann reports and myself as a writer for Canada Free Press, will I still be able to let you folks know what's really happening, or will Canada Free Press have to sift down their news product to the baby food pablum that is de rigueur in the rest of the mainstream media? This is one of the biggest stories the CFP has ever had to print. I just don't know if people understand how serious the threat is from what has happened here. Okay, let me stop right there for a second. Folks, we're seeing history being made here. And I cannot believe that newspapers who buy their ink by the barrel and radio stations who own the airwaves are not screaming bloody murder about what's taking place here. I can't believe it. And bloggers and everyone is up in arms about this. Joe, I got to tell you, man, I am just absolutely astounded that there's not more outrage over this, whether it be Verizon or even looking at this PJ who comments no content was revealed. Excuse me? Does that make it okay? Do you folks understand that the chill this has the chill this has on people who want to or who intend to blow the whistleblowers? Well, listen to this. Well, yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a short break there at the bottom of the hour, bottom of the first hour. You're listening to the Hagmann Report, talking about, among other things, of course, the wiretapping of, or the eavesdropping of Big Brother, of our government. And essentially what we're talking about here is the thought police. And I got to tell you, I'm not too happy, especially when one of our own, one of us, gets involved in this in a way that is not to be expected. And by the way, I did verify that through, and I mentioned looked at this yesterday or the day before to verify that that was in fact a bona fide NSA intercept that, unfortunately, or fortunately for me, there was a human error involved in that. And tomorrow I'll be talking to my congressmen and senators to determine what we can do about this. Now, that said, we have other news as well.